Hello tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. I've just made one with the Lanch Connects and I've totally forgot. I've got to show you progress on this little A34 15. Well, oh Gav, come on, get with it. It's an A34 Comet Tank from the British Army, and it served in the very last months of the war. If you think of the Pershing that was brought in by the Americans, obviously this isn't a heavy tank as such. It's got the 17-pounder. But it's firing 17-pounder ammunition from an anti-aircraft gun, which meant the shell casings were shorter. You didn't have to have the huge counterweight bulge that, say, the Firefly had, and it's supposed to be roughly the same in striking power, I believe. So what I've been doing with this, we'll go on the turret first. Blooming barrel's a bit wonky on this one, which is really annoying. I didn't see it till I was doing all the painting, and I can't work out if it's because it's where it's been on the sprue and it's just bent slightly, or if it's where, more than likely, where I've actually fitted it in. But never mind. If I hadn't told you, you might not have noticed. Obviously, I've made my own camouflage netting. The canvas screen to stop the dust getting down the mantle and everything, that was obviously not pre-moulded on, so it didn't take a lot of work doing that. I've made my own brain gun, yes I know. And it is brain gun mag isn't exactly curved as much as it should be, but never mind. It is a homemade job, just cut out a plastic card with bits stuck on it, so you know, I can only do so much. But yeah, I think that's come up really well. I didn't want to over weather it. I've put some tiny scratches on. I'm not putting a lot of rust on this or anything, because for my mind the tank hadn't been in the Low Countries in Germany very long, and I don't know how beat up they actually got in that time period, so I've left it with just some faint scratch lines and a bit of metal worn away in some sharp areas. I've used a watercolour pencil for that. I bought some AKs ages ago. I've also highlighted the edges slightly, just to get them to stand out a bit and to have that metal look, if that makes sense. The lamp, I just did silver and then stained it with around the edges with some, I think it was some blue. I think it was the same blue that I did these vision ports with. Not 100% sure with the vision ports, but I've left them blue just to show that I know that they're vision ports and you can see them. Then did some black lining with some rubber black in, you know, around the camo nets, just to show again some shading, shadow areas, if that makes sense. I haven't put any antenna on yet because obviously they'll just get snapped off. Quite often people show these with a lot of carbon build up from firing the rounds, but most tanks you tend to just have you just see the white metal ring at the end there, and at the sides more than anything, more than, you know, big dark muzzle barrels. Decals, this is why this one stopped, and then I stopped it the other day because I suddenly thought, you Burke, you haven't put a single decal on. You're doing like streaking and everything. See, I've done a bit of some streaking. Nothing fancy there, it's just paint that in fact I've used the smoke from the AK pencils to do that darker one, and some lighter paint, which that probably looks a bit too light actually. Just have some rain streaks down, so I'll probably weather that up slightly. So there will be a bit of weathering going on, more dust weathering. I've painted dust in as well in places. It's a bit hard to see under there, but once I put some shadow with the rubber black in some of the corners, I've put painted some dust effects in, and that's just AK paint. You know, you don't have to do all your fancy, put this layer on, that layer on. I just painted some dust effects in there with some very watered down paint. Crewman obviously comes with the tanks. I did put a bit of orange in his goggles. He's got the tanker uniform for that period. You watch somebody tell me they weren't wearing it at that period, but hey, that's what I saw. So that's that. Again, I've done a bit of painted weathering on the tarps. I purposely left the tarps this more, you know, darker green, because the way I see it, they could be just as much non-military tarps, if that makes sense. You know, they could have been nicked German tarps that they found lying, you know. I just wanted a slight difference because the ammo boxes are fairly scuffed up. I'll just use a bit of flesh tones just to scuff those ammo boxes up because they were wood. I'm thinking about just doing some white squiggles to show some of the writing on the side, but I don't know. Don't know about that. As you can see, these are the ones I tried to cast with the blue stuff, with using green stuff, and they're a bit soft and whatever, but hey ho. I think that's one of the cast ones there as well. That's for their toolbox, that one, but these are ammo crates. The spare track came up nice. So for the decals, I've jumped ahead again, haven't I? Sorry, it's a busted head. I can't hold on to what I'm saying. So as you can see, when I did the camo, I knew I hadn't got any divisional markings, which the Brits often had, which would be the 11th Division, which operate Armoured Division, I believe, which mainly operate the Comet in any big, you know, larger numbers. Well, it would normally be down here. Well, with the camo net that I've made going over the top, I didn't have to worry about that, because some of the prices of decals were ridiculous, you know, just for a sheet of decals. I mean, some of them were asking like 12 quid. So I got away with that one. The name of the tank, sometimes they'd have them on the front here. Well, obviously we've got a track there, so I have actually got some separate names and numbers of tanks. So I believe the only one, because I haven't really worked on this side of it, as you can see, started doing a few scratches a few nights ago, but I did some black lining and a bit of wear on. Whether they would have been silvered up at the edges there, again, it's just a bit of artistic license. I obviously haven't really done anything with this whole area yet, but I may put, I don't have to put anything like invasion marking, the big arrows, because one, it would be under there, and it would also be under all that lot, so I've not had to worry with that. The only thing I have got, which I may do on this back of this here, is a senior. I've only got it in red. It was red, yellow and blue. You'll see circles, triangles, squares, and the red markings for the Brits are the senior regiments in the brigade. So I'm probably going to get shot down for it, because I've looked and looked and I can't work it out, but I believe I'm going to put I'll put a red triangle or something on the back of that. Although I've already done some weathering, we'll just have to re-weather it. And then the only other thing I've got to put on, as I say, the name, there's not really anywhere the name can go. So I'll probably leave the name off. I'm not just going to stick a name on just for the sake of it. You know, at the end of the day, it's covered up by that spare track. But I will probably have to put some War Department numbers. Can't remember if it went up there. Again, I've weathered all this now, or if it came down there. I can't remember, and I'm not sure if that was supposed to have divisional flashes on the back as well, like the charging ball with the yellow, you know, backing for the 11th. I'm not sure, but whatever happens, I haven't got it, so it's academic really. Done the tyres, apart from these guys here, completely forgot to do those. I thought they were steel and they're obviously rubber, so it was only because when I was looking at them, the tank that I'd seen, it was so dusty, it actually looked like there was no rubber there at all. It wasn't mud so much, it was dust. I'm still undecided if I put any mud on it really. I'm thinking more just keep this one dusty, so there will be some weathering on the wheels and stuff. So I do like the track sag that they've done on this. It's really nice. But all this yet has still got to be worked on. I thought the tracks came out fairly decent. There's a slight bow into the middle there. You don't really see it, once you're looking down on it. I couldn't really do anything else because it locks in underneath. Can't see, but it locks into some plates. And it's handed, so you can't get them wrong as well. And for me I did try and move them out straighter, but it would leave me gaps. So I've had to go with just plugging them in. As I say, these are meant to be wargaming pieces. I just enjoy detailing them up. I don't have a lot of space, and these little tanks give me, I can do some modelling without having giant. Well, 1 in 35 ain't giant, is it? But I really struggle for room. So these little guys give me a modelling fix, and at the same time I'm doing something that's not going to take a lot of room up. So yeah, there you go. Hope that meets with your approval. I have started painting dust into these guys at the back. This is as much as I wanted to do. That's all. As far as Gav's concerned, that's mainly done. I couldn't work out. I needed to have a look in greater detail which was water and which was fuel. So I've just done a bit of staining around them with the black brown without going to town, because these are filler caps here, these round bits. Now I said that there was mesh. Now, a lot of the tanks I'd seen, I hadn't seen any mesh there, and yet some of the ones I thought I had. I believe that's a telephone on the back. Got spring there. I believe these aren't done by me. I think I might have had to just drill them out slightly, but the shackles, I've seen them painted green on like Duxford when they do their tank fests and that, but obviously if you're going to use a shackle properly, painting them, they might do it for an inspection or something, but paint on a shackle ain't going to last 5 minutes when you're using it in the field. So I've just kept them bare metal. The only bit of rust I've put on, at least on this that I've done so far, just done a couple of chips there, just because I thought that was fairly exposed, and there might well be some chips there, but apart from that, not too much. I painted some more painting there, where the crews probably use the tracks to walk up. That's the way I've looked at it anyway, or the infantry more than anything, if they're carrying infantry on the back. As I say, copper wire just twisted round, painted grey. I am rusting that up slightly more, and I had seen them dumped on the front, ready for towing. Also, I went with the jerry cans. I looked for period jerry cans, and there's some that were period jerry cans that people had got hold of, and they had that like a bluey green look to them. So I didn't want to make it look too much like the top. So I put bluey green on those. Put some black in just to show where the handles are better, just to define them a bit more. I didn't want to open this one up and try and make more of it. I've got enough tanks in that box to do that if I decide to go down that road. But obviously I've got the King Tiger to do next from the same box, and the Tiger, the Tiger 1 or the Tiger E, whatever you want to call it. I've got that to do as well. Haven't whitewashed that yet, just because I've just been doing so much other stuff with the commission and that. I can't give too much time up. I want to get this commission finished in the next couple of 3 weeks. So that's why I've not been making as many videos, because again it's all patchy bits and pieces I'm showing you. We're not a lot of progress. I mean, this guy's over a few nights not touching the Langschnecks. I got it to this far, but I've obviously stopped again. So it's just as and when. But the Tiger for the Eastern Front with the whitewash, I would like to do that. We're getting some real gale force winds yet again, and it's just starting to come up now. So I won't be doing any spraying probably at least from now to Monday, which is a shame because I had hoped to do some on the weekend. But yeah, that's waiting for the whitewash to go on that tiger. The King Tiger, he's got no farther forward. I haven't put any colours down on that yet, just because, again, just getting time to get some airbrushing in. So look after yourselves. I'm waffling and rambling all over the shop again, aren't I? But I keep saying it to you guys. Yes, I know they're small. Where's me lighter that I use for burning off CA glue? There we go. The proverbial lighter. As I say, I use that for burning off my CA. Very useful it is too. But yeah, that's the scale you know, that you're looking at. But they really are. Even if you don't want to start opening hatches up and that, because that is a can of worms. You can still do a lot to the exterior of the tank just to make it your own. As I say, the Bren gun, that's from a genuine picture. Yes, if I could have found, I wasn't going to go to expense of buying anything, but if I could have chopped one off a plastic guy with a, you know, that was intact, I could have used that. But in the end, scratch building is your friend. And I, you know, as I say, my magazine on the Bren gun is not curved enough. Lesson learnt there, but yeah, it's great just doing the research, just spending some time. You know, at the end of the night, I'm in bed with me pad, looking at my iPad, or it's not iPad, but you know, tablet thing, looking at all this stuff, seeing you know, what comets were doing where, and you know, I mean, they even used these in Hong Kong after the war. If you wanted to do a peacetime one in Hong Kong, they use those there as well. Because I wondered why these Chinese script was coming up on these shop signs, and I'm thinking this can't be Northern Germany, March 1945. But yeah, lovely little vehicles to work on. Especially these newer kits that they're making now as kits, rather than like the old days when it was all resin and stuff and they were all a bit wonky and wobbly. They're looking a hell of a lot better now. Obviously, some of the details can be sometimes overscaled, like rivets and stuff like that. But it is a 15mm tank, you know. And if you really want to go to town, if you can make, I'm still trying to work out how I can make 15mm rivets look scale, if that makes sense. But they do Italians, obviously, you name it, vehicles that they do. So yeah, definitely have a think of doing some yourself, because they do modern stuff as well. So Rob sent me some British Challengers, and I'll enjoy, you know, hiking two of those out over the year and painting those. So. And they make, you know, you can do it. I mean, I've just used this MDF just to hold this while I'm working on it. But you know, if you wanted to do a tiny bit of a display, that MDF wargaming base is more than enough, you know, to just display it on, if that's what you want to do. The only thing, oh, by the way, I've used this. If anybody asks, I'm using. It's very tacky. It's white. It's this stuff. They come in from like the range in the UK, so like the cheap like pound shops and stuff. They have the little square poster sticker things, and they have this stuff. The poster sticker things, they've got cheaper and cheaper, all this stuff, as in the materials that they use, and they're not massively tacky, but I do use them still for sticking bits and pieces down. I wanted to make sure this didn't go anywhere, so I used this, but you do have to be careful, because it's happened to me before, and I'm waiting for it to happen on this turret. Don't push it in too hard onto the white stuff, because the white stuff will come up slightly, and as you remove it, it might take some of your paint with you, and that's happened before, so just be aware of that. But it does hold. It does hold really well. So, and I'm hoping that, because that's just the treads of the tank, you know, it just peel off. You just have to do a bit of clean up with it, that's all. So anyway, look after yourselves. That's a second video today. Won't be any more, so you can heave a sigh of relief. and we'll catch each other, well, on the next one. Look after yourselves.